So this is the MOTOOS. Oh, guys, look at this. Okay.
Yeah, nice there, baby.
That's like a perfect kind of bike for it right there,
See?
too. Yeah, because it fits a wide open frame.
So how would I'm gonna do mine? How much you cost me? That's just nice thing. That's what I'm trying to say.
One-inch aerial salute. Burst charge is black powder mixed with perchlorate and aluminum. A little bit of titanium glued to the edge of the container. Should give a nice snowball, but it's a little bright, so we might not see it. They have a yellow tail going up. Oh, that echo was something. should have brought one of my salutes out too. All right. So we got some COVID crackers. A lot on ground. Do not hold. We also have M&P 45. Firing some reloads out of this. If my memory's right, that's 130 grain, powder coated with Harbor Freight Red. Mr. Bassett, eat your heart out. So we got a half sheet of printer paper there. I'm gonna stand back about 15 yards and see if we can hit it. Oh, the mosquitoes are in love with me, and standing still is always the best part about it. There ain't nothing for miles, so I ain't gotta worry about no Karens popping out of the woods. Ain't shot this old girl in a while. Oh, that felt good. Nothing quite like the thump of a 45. Knock the log off. Oh, all right. Gotta reload these. Can't buy 45 at Walmart anymore. Yeah, that really tweaked it riding through that mess. I'm gonna see if I can fix it real quick. Good old 10mm to save the day. Reposition my motor. Looks about right. This is still using 6mm studs, so doing this always makes me nervous. Glasses are fogged up. Can't see a damn thing. Ow, that's hot. But nothing's broken or missing, so that makes me happy. Oh, shower. Oh, how I miss you. I'd settle for a garden hose right now. So we have established that the COVID crackers are acceptable for social distancing. I've got a motor in here, and a couple of guys have been asking questions about this particular motor. Just so happened that I ordered it about a week and a half ago, so hey, let's check it out. I don't have a bike to put it on yet. So this is the MOTOOS. Bought it on Amazon from MOTOOS, official seller on Amazon, I guess. I don't really know anything about this motor other than it's a standard PK80 with a one-piece jug from what I can tell. Now that's a good and a bad thing. Really, I don't like one-piece jugs because it just makes diagnosing and doing quick checkups of your motor a little more difficult. But at the same time, you don't have to worry about head gaskets blowing out or getting the wrong squish. Ooh, right off the bat, it seems to be packaged a little nicer than your standard China dolls. Let's just take a quick peek here. What do we got? Anything special? Alright. Full color manual, it looks like. How is our English? I don't know what's the front or back. I guess this is front. Basic mechanical skills are needed to properly install this engine kit. Some buyers may be able to complete this job within 2 hours, while others may take 6 to 10. Okay, well, right away it looks like this is proper English and not Chinglish. So, hey, thumbs up. And yeah, I'm seeing color manual now. Every motor I've ever bought has come with a manual. Some of you guys out there have been saying that your kits didn't come with manuals, so which makes me wonder just like how cheap are you guys going on those eBay sellers? Now, this kit was $125 with free shipping on Amazon. Took a week and a half to get here. Got a different style boot for the spark plug. Yeah, all standard stuff here. Just looking to see off the bat if there's anything different. Is this, what kind of carb is this? It does have speed on it, which in my experience, the ones with speed on them always give me better reliability. And another telltale sign that it is the real speed NT carburetor is this button is kind of a cap and not like a rivet. The rivet ones tend to pop out because the glue is poor quality and the gas eats away at it and it just kind of pops out. Yeah. Also on my Sutek PK80, which came with a speed as well, after I adjusted this one time, I never had to touch it again. This just looks better quality than any of the other carburetors I've seen aside from what came on the YD100. It's clean, super clean. That's cool. See, these feel like silicone wires. You'll know the difference. The silicone wires have a lot more flex in them. I like those better just because they don't tend to break as easy. They're not as stiff. They're easier to work with. It's got brass connector instead of aluminum. That's a good thing. Better connection. Is that an 8mm universal adapter? It sure is, or it looks like it. Yeah, that's 8mm. Is the motor 8mm? Because from the pictures, the motor did not look like it was 8mm. I was okay with that because I was just going to drill and tap them. Yeah. Hold on. Okay, those, they don't actually look like the butter bolts, but we won't know until we put them on. But they don't look like butter bolts for the rag joint, which is a good sign. This I know this is nitpicking, not a big deal, but this exhaust port on this one looks a heck of a lot cleaner than anything else I've gotten. There's no slag around the edges. Just looks good. How's our outlet? I know on the YD100 the solder or the weld was beaded up on the inside really bad. I had to drill this out because I couldn't even fit the cap of a pin through it. But this one, nothing. Not restrictive at all. That's a good sign. Alright, let's give it the shake. Nothing. No slag. Oh, I'm feeling good about this motor. And guys, the reviews on Amazon are pretty good for as far as these motors are concerned. Overall, 4 out of 5 stars out of 222 ratings. That's good. And a lot of these reviews I was reading said this motor has a good bit of torque for what it is. Okay, here's hoping. Now, a nice thing is I have an iron sleeved cylinder that if I don't like this single piece cylinder, I'll just throw that on there. The reason I bring this up is because that's not an option for me on the YD100. Unless I decide to use kind of one of those still heads and make a Frankenstein motor, which requires quite a bit of work that I'm a little intimidated at doing, you can't really do anything with the YD100. You're stuck with the stock heads, cylinders. But with this, assuming the engine studs mount up, we should be able to put any cylinder and head combination on it we want, which is great. And getting a motor for $125 in the midst of the COVID crap is real nice. I am sorry, at the moment this is currently unavailable. It's sold out right away, but they have others. They have the black ones, which are in stock for $128. Same motor, just painted black, so it's a couple dollars more. Same reviews, same people are selling it and everything. Yeah. 4-bolt tensioners. Look, I've never had a problem with these. But all the bikes I've ever put them on have an oval tube, chainstay, whatever you want to call it, and not a round tube. Okay, if you try and put these on a round tube, you're probably going to have a bad day. But if your bike has an oval tube, you mount these two. I've never had a problem with these. Oh, guys, look at this. Okay. Look how they packed this, guys. So a proper styrofoam protective packing for the motor and the tank. And they even went as far to use the grips as support for the packing material. This is usually not a big deal when you buy anything, but if you guys have ever bought these motors before, you know that they're pretty much just wrapped in plastic and thrown in the box. And look, a special spot for the chain. I mean, they actually put some thought into this. Nice. Yes, it's 8mm. Okay, let me set you guys back down, get this out of here. This tank looks perfect. I can hear a little bit of junk on the inside, so we're gonna make sure we get that out. This tank has a male connector. I think that's the first tank I've had with a male connector. Oh, no way. No way. This is fantastic. Not only does the tank look good, I mean, the studs look like you're gonna have the same problem, so double nut them, don't put a lot of stress on the studs, but this is a free moving nut, which means when you install it on the bike, you'll be able to position the on-off anywhere you want and then tighten it down. Unlike with the standard tanks where you're pretty much, you just have to tighten it until it stops wherever it stops, and if you want to adjust it to be more convenient, then you got to use the Teflon tape. But this has a seal and a free nut. But what's even better is this is a reserve petcock. Now, I don't know how practical that's going to be because how tall it is and the position of the tank on the bike. You know, you might only use half the tank by the time it drops down to the reserve. But this is cool because this is something I had been asking about in forums a couple years ago, is if anybody knew if there were reserve petcocks for these tanks. So what this means is when you're in the up position or on, it only takes fuel out of this top screen. Okay, and you're riding along, all of a sudden you run out of gas. Well, then you switch it down to the reserve and it'll take gas out of the bottom screen. This is not a big deal for a lot of people, but if you just happen to hop on your bike and forget to put gas in it for some reason, you'll always have a reserve to get you home or to a gas station or whatever. And while I got this open, let me just look and see what spark plug they gave us. Okay, it is the smaller adapter. Z4C, it's fine. I can't remember if I've ever had one of these go out on me. I probably. Let's get this chain out of the way. This is a 415 chain, guys. Stock motors almost always come with 410s, if I'm correct. 415 is what I always upgrade to. It's even stamped on the links. This is a 415 chain. That is great because that's stronger than the 410 chains. I've never broken a 415. I'm not saying you can't, you know, if your engine gets out of alignment like we had today. These feel thicker. Maybe, but they look longer too. Whatever. They got a nice rubber seal for the magneto. Most of them come with that little plastic screw-in cap. This may or may not be 40 millimeters. I don't think it is. I think this is the smaller lower mount. Would it be 32 something? Whatever. But it's got 8 millimeter mounting studs. That's what I was worried about. If anybody's wondering what the bolts look like and how deep they are for the head, they're actually Allen bolts, and they go all the way down to the base, which is why I'm guessing they supplied this long Allen key. Just keep that in mind. So when you go to torque these down, you might need an adapter or something for it. I'm going to see if I can get this head off here real quick. Oh, it feels good coming out. Look at the baby piston. It's so little. Okay, it's a high hole piston, so that means 40 millimeter stroke, right? Right, guys? I'm right about that. The high hole piston, that's a 40 millimeter stroke. Well, either way, I know that the high hole is a longer stroke than the low hole. So, single base gasket. The piston pins are on the intake side, so the piston is on properly. Great, and it's lubricated. Awesome. This is by far the cleanest casting I have ever seen on a cylinder. Okay guys, here is our cylinder. Let me get a good look at this port work. Transfers look good. Really good. The exhaust, a little rough, but not terrible. Intake looks pretty good. We got a little bit of slag or something on the wall that I'm going to clean up. And how does our manifold look? Fine. It might not look great from the outside, but it looks a lot less restrictive than I've seen on many of them. There's a little bit of welding I'm going to clean up on it, and it's got this lip on the bottom. I'm going to get that too. Okay, chipping. I see some rough areas around the intake and exhaust that I'm probably going to lightly sand so I don't get any runaway chipping. Also, if you want to do a third transfer port, keep in mind that there is this empty space here on the intake. So if you were to carve too far into this head, you might expose it to the atmosphere, and that would obviously ruin your head. I can see some aluminum flakes, so it's not perfectly clean. Definitely gonna want to take care of that. I'd say it's fine. It's not fantastic, but it's a lot cleaner than most of these heads I've seen. So that's it, guys. That is the MOTOOS, M-O-T-O-O-S, 80cc. I'm really looking forward to getting this on a bike because this comes with a lot of good stuff I'm excited about. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. We'll see you next time. Right now, guys, it is really hot outside, and it's going to be like that for the next couple of weeks, maybe a month, because it's August, so I'm not promising videos every Friday. I am going to try. If some new bike thing happens, you guys will see it. But this is my chill month, just kind of soaking the AC. Alright, ride safe.